Good afternoon. Welcome to our marketing webinar Thursdays. We're here again with Chris Amos with No Boundaries Marketing. Hi, Chris.
Hello.
So today is Facebook 101, and Chris is going to teach us how to create content like a real pro. So we couldn't have a better leader here, giving us this lesson today. So.
All right, ma'am. I appreciate you.
All right, I'll let you take over.
Awesome. All right. So today's class actually, believe it or not, we actually have some really exciting new stuff to share. If you've taken these classes before from us, you'll know, we really do reiterate a lot of the same things because it's so important to have that foundation. But one of the things that if you've taken these classes with me, you've heard before is I'm a stickler for analytics. Like, I really encourage clients to understand their analytics. And unfortunately, Facebook analytics is going away. So we need to find another option. We need to help businesses understand what to do, how to do it, so on and so forth. So we're going to talk about that today. Other things we're going to talk about is, again, curating content like a champ. And there's some things that I'm going to teach you guys how to do today, or, at least concepts on what to do and how to do it, and really get the most out of your social media platform. So to start off with Facebook. Now, we're going to talk in general terms about, again, Facebook. We'll even add in their Instagram and some of these other ones. But really what I want to push is, the content generation, no matter what platform you use, is really about having fun. That can be sometimes people lose that, I think. I know when I do our Facebook posts with my wife or with my staff, it's one of those things that I want to, what are people asking you? Like, hey, let's have a conversation about this. All too often we get so stuck in this routine where, okay, we post about this. It's all me stuff. Hey, look at this, look at that. We got, this going on here. Here's another coupon or a promotion. That stuff gets stale. That stuff gets old. It's really not engaging. I mean, if you're Walmart and you offer, 10% off a certain product, I mean, sure, people may be interested, they may not, it just gets lost, if you will. Your message gets lost. So to really curate a loyal, engaged crowd, there's just a few things that you need to do, but you need to do them well. So first thing we're going to talk about here, and I'm going to bring up our Facebook page. And again, we try to have a really dynamic mix of things. And, whereas we don't have a ton of followers, this is something that, you can build off of, and you'll see where we're going with it and how we're trying to accomplish what we're preaching today. So with Facebook, again, there's a lot of things to consider. So before we get into content, I'm going to tell you this. Please make sure that your page is up to date. That is so critical. So what I mean by that is, again, when you're going through here, when you're going through your page, now Facebook will make suggestions to you. Hey, you might want to do this. Hey, you might want to start doing that. But what you really need to do is just make sure that you have the basic information filled out and that you're consistent. So again, that's going to be in your About section right here. Make sure that this address is accurate. It matches where your business literally is, where people are going to. Make sure, again, even in this world, even as the mask mandates are lifting and, COVID is miraculously allegedly going away, whatever your thoughts are on that, don't care. But, with COVID, it's still important to have a COVID-19 policy. So there are people out there that are still genuinely concerned, and they want to make sure that, they're well protected. If it makes the difference between earning a client and not, I certainly think it requires little effort to put that on there. In addition to that, contact information, website, price range, again, fill out as much as you can on this, because this ultimately is going to help clients connect with you and make it easy to do business with you, if that makes sense. Another big one, privacy policy. And then last but not least, obviously, you have all the other different social media channels or platforms that you use. Again, the goal with all of this, just make it easier to do business with you. So when we go through this, let's go ahead and start talking about the page layout as a whole. When we look at this, dynamic graphics are everything. Now for us, we change ours quite often. So we're just in the middle of designing a new one right now. If you follow our page or you come here often, you're going to see, again, we try to create that dynamic visual. A lot of the times, if you have some of this stuff, you can upload a video, you can do, photos, you can do a slideshow. There's a ton of options here. So get fun, get creative. There's some great tools. I know we plug Canva all the time, not because we just love it, but we love it. But there's other ones out there. You can do Facebook covers, event covers, posts, all this stuff. They have pre-made templates for all of this stuff, which makes it super easy for you as a business owner to jump in and get something done. So if I want to create a new cover right now, I can come in here, I can look through suggestions. And again, some of this is free, some of it's not. But if I wanted to do something like this, again, it'll pull it up. Now, this one happens to be free. Sometimes you'll see a little like grid line and stuff that, has a Canva logo that you got to buy the pictures. So just look through and have fun with this. Learn Canva if you don't have another system or if you want to design it on your own. But again, when I look at this, it's super easy to use. You can do fall, like again, seasonality is huge. I know it sounds stupid. I know it sounds insignificant. You might think to yourself, well, why am I going to put all this effort into this? I promise you, because it matters. It really does. It captures people's attention. It just creates that environment where, oh, wow, they're really engaged with their page or their audience. So these little things can make a big difference for the business overall. I also put in there, you're not going to see this stuff right away. You're not going to see that, immediate boost in terms of visibility or engagement just because you updated your cover photo and stuff. This is about creating a consistent experience for a client as well. They come to expect creativity from you, which isn't a bad thing. That's actually a really good thing. You just need to make sure that you're giving people what they want. We don't want an old pixelated 1993 photo up here when you started your business, although there's some nostalgia behind that might actually be kind of cool. What you want is fresh, modern. Again, if you do seasonality, a lot of times around the holidays, like you'll see, we'll doll up our logo with a Christmas wreath around it, stuff like that, or a holiday wreath. Thanksgiving, you'll see turkeys running across, or, just different things. St. Patrick's Day, leprechauns. Like I said, tons and tons and tons of options to do, and you can do them all within Canva. So there's my unpaid free plug on Canva there. So as we go through this, as you really create that fun environment for your users, again, that's gonna motivate them or encourage them to look at your post more, to do more with your page itself. We want to make sure that we have a variety of posts that we use. And so this is where people stumble. A lot of people think, well, you know what, nobody really cares about, let's say you're an insurance agent. Oh, who really cares about this? Who really cares about that? Believe it or not, you'd be surprised how many people will actually engage and follow with your posts. Now, we do a lot with statistics. Again, this is a strategy we just started as of January. When you look at our posts and stuff, you're going to find, and again, we see this incrementally, not just on Facebook, but on other platforms as well, Twitter, so on and so forth, is that when you reference statistics, people somehow get captivated by that. And they want to know more. They want to know more. Oh, wow. Did you know global digital ad spend will reach $389 billion in 2021? That's pretty interesting. Again, I'm being facetious there. For me, it's not interesting at all. It's our day-to-day. But for some clients or some people, that might be an interesting fact. They want to learn more about it. As you go down, again, you'll see a variety of posts that we do. So when you look at this, tips, we do tips on, best practices on things. We do, again, little quotes, suggestions, so on and so forth. We give a variety of posts. Not everything has to be me. Not everything has to be promoting our services. Again, everything that we post, for the most part, is connected to what we do, but it's not all me. It's not all, hey, we got a discount on this today. Hey, take a look at that. We do fun facts, holidays, you name it. Again, there are occasionally our selfless plugs where we do pitch our services. But this is not the common theme. You're not going to come to our page and you're not going to see a ton of stuff on, hey, sign up for what we do. Hey, do this. Like, again, UX, user experience is a really, really big one. We did a blog on user experience recently, which I think was awesome. So again, this will link back to our website, generate some traffic to the website, so on and so forth. Fun quotes, Benjamin Franklin here, articles, like I said, there's a variety. This links to Forbes. So what I'm trying to show here or showcase, and again, it doesn't matter what platform you're on, engaging posts and creating this type of environment where people are actually looking at what you do. And again, a lot of this has everything to do with how many followers you have, so on and so forth. But when you look at our numbers, again, they're up considerably overall. And that's just by doing the right thing, giving people what they want, getting that engagement, so on and so forth. Now, we talked a little bit about tools, so we're going to go back to Canva here for a minute. We're going to talk about, and I'm going to get out of this, we're going to get to, again, just the different styles. Tons of stuff in here. Like I said, play around, have fun with it. If it's not Facebook, you can look at Instagram. They have some Instagram stuff, YouTube stuff, you name it. So no matter what platform you want to use, there's a ton of resources in here for that. So again, just think outside the box, give people a variety of information. Again, a lot of questions we get are, well, Chris, how often do we post? This is all great, but how often should we be posting? There's not a great answer to that because every business is different. I know I have businesses that post a couple of times a week. I have businesses that post every single day, multiple times a day. So it's all in what type of engagement you're looking to get. For us, again, marketing, it's really not sexy. It's really not, people aren't just, dropping on Facebook to see what we have to say today. So and that's okay. That's expected. We're a B2B marketing company. But when you look at like a brand that's appealing to a B2C market or a consumer market, your clients, if your demographic is that, let's say 18 to maybe 35-year-old range, or even younger than that, you're probably going to want to post a little bit more often because chances are that demographic's on social media more often. If your target demographic is, let's say 55 and older, you might not have as much visibility. They might get on every day or, maybe once a day or maybe once a week, who knows? But again, look at your analytics, what's available, at least for the time being. So look at your analytics and then make judgments based on that. I think that's going to be your best course of action, is see when people are on your page, see when people are engaging. Now, that does not mean, and I actually want to put a little tip into this. When you're looking at your analytics, this is a very common mistake I see businesses making. They go to their analytics and they want to know when to post. And so they look on their page and they see, oh, well, people are engaging with my post most often between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. So that's when they post. That's fantastic. That's fantastic that you're utilizing your analytics to guide you there. But that also doesn't mean that we ignore other times in the day. And here's what I mean by that, is that just because the majority of your audience or the majority of your engagement is from period A to B or B to C or C to D, whatever it is, again, that doesn't mean we ignore the other parts. Sometimes we can actually curate additional traffic to the site or to your page in those off times simply by posting during them. So again, that's a school of thought. There's a strategy behind that. So I'd say if you have nothing better to do in your day and that's all you do is social media, well, there's a great tip for you. If you're like most business owners, and again, your time's limited, you can only afford to spend so much time on this. Maybe it's on your phone, maybe it's, once a month, I don't know. For us, we work on our social media pretty much about once or twice a month. We'll go in there, we'll create posts for the entire month. We'll schedule them out based on trends, based on things that we're seeing. Now, if I happen to write a blog, I might share things intermittently between that. But again, we schedule most everything out because, again, we're a small team. We have a ton of things to do. So again, I would use that same concept. As a business owner, schedule things out. If you get some juicy stuff that just has to be shared, fantastic, go for it, share it. But that'll really cut down on that time that you're spending on social media each month, trying to post and trying to get content. If you're a salon or some type of, direct, it's images are required basically to showcase what you do. That's something maybe you're on a little bit more. Again, phone app is going to be instrumental in that. You're going to want to make sure that you have your business page up, you're posting appropriately. You're going to want to make sure that, again, you really look for those tools and resources that, come with the online, let's just say, or the app version. But again, look at the analytics, post as often as you can, consistently. Again, you'll hear me say that a lot. Just make sure you're consistent with it. Don't go all out for a week. You're posting 5 times a day, and then all of a sudden nobody hears from you for a couple of weeks. That's just not a great experience for consumers that do decide to follow you during that period of time. They're going to get the wrong expectation. So we've talked about posts. We've talked about analytics a little bit. We're going to go into that a little bit more. So we've given you some good tips on this. I want to go ahead and showcase a couple other things here. And this is a great one for curating content. This is something that it's super easy to do, and it's super easy to, pull resources in. A lot of people, believe it or not, they're starved for content. A lot of businesses think, God, how much more could I possibly do? I've talked about this, I've done that, I'm just out of options. Well, I'm going to give you some easy ones here. If you go into Google and you just do a simple search, so I'm going to pick on the insurance agents again. So if we go auto insurance, actually, you know what? Let's pick on car repair. So if I go car repair, now this is a general search. I'm in the news category. If you see here, not all, but I'm specifically looking in news. And again, here's all of the articles that are available on Google News right now from a variety of places, so on and so forth. And you can see here lots of great stuff. Yay, yay, yay. What's important about this is that we can use this information to our advantage. So, and again, here's a local one, but you can even get a little more granular. If I'm in Surprise, Arizona, so I can come down, put car repair Surprise, Arizona. And here's yourvalley.net just did surprise tire shop collecting old seats. That's pretty cool. Cash for life winning ticket. Well, that's obviously not in Surprise, Arizona, but Tempe rather. But you can look at this stuff and you can find, again, news that's coming up. Now, there might not be something every single day. There, you might have to, look around and, figure it out. I would have a variety. I would do a variety of these searches. But, again, in the big picture, there's a lot of things that you can do in this. And you can obviously make sure that you get up-to-date information. Again, car repair is just one. Let's go back to auto insurance, probably some better stuff there. Maybe that industry might be a little easier to showcase. But we want to avoid competition. So we're not going to go feature our competitors in this. But if you can find some great stuff like bank rate, if I was in the insurance business, here's some auto insurance statistics. This may be a great article to feature and, showcase or highlight some of the cool stuff that's happening in the business. Who knows? Like I said, the news is a great thing. If you can find relevant stuff in here, doesn't mean we post that every day, but this is a great way to get industry news out there, create additional content for your page, create additional engagement for your page, and guess what? Everybody wins. In the perfect world, I'll call it a pro tip. My pro tip would be, what would be fantastic is if you as a company took this article right here and you wrote a blog about it yourself. Again, citing and using some of the statistics in here. Again, putting your own little twist on it. Again, if you have the time and if you have the capacity to do this, I think that would be fantastic. That would be, again, taking it to the next level. But for all intents and purposes for social media, I think just, again, coming here, finding the article by itself, taking the link here, copy, come over to Facebook. You can come in here to create a post. And then again, we can post that in there. It's going to put a link to the article. And then you can put your little summary right here in the article. You can just type out your thoughts. Hey, whatever it is. I found that teen drivers did you know that teen drivers are nearly 3 times as likely to get into a fatal car accident than older drivers? Some little tidbit of information that's ultimately going to help create that engagement and entice them to click on that ad. Again, in a perfect world, this would be your blog that's coming up. And again, you might add the same little tidbit up here, and then now you're generating traffic to your website. So again, these are just some really short, simple, easy tips that you can do to create engagement. I'm going to go ahead and discard that. Obviously don't need that on my page. Videos are another great one. So, I know that goes without saying. Videos are one of those that it's eye-catching. I will just say this, that, when it comes to social, you got to be careful. There's a lot of people out there that, don't necessarily want sound. If you've ever been, in a quiet place and all of a sudden you're scrolling through Facebook and all of a sudden this audio file starts playing, that can be distracting and irritating. Most people don't like that. So again, I always say, approach with caution. So if you do have a really cool video that you want to do, I always recommend adding subtitles to it. That's always a great option. If you don't know how to do that, it's really not difficult. Just call me, we can walk through it. But subtitles are great. The other thing here, and the last thing that we're going to talk about today, is dynamic images. I'm pretty sure it's self-explanatory. Again, I try not to assume, but when we look at the big picture, again, imagery is everything nowadays. You have to have a captivating image in order to draw somebody's attention. Chances are, and again, some people will read, that's perfectly fine. That's a given. But what catches their attention typically is the actual graphic associated with it. So when you're on places like Instagram or you're doing a video on YouTube, stuff like that, it's really all in the actual image itself. So think that through. See what you can do. The more personalized, the better. Don't put stock photography up and stuff like that. That doesn't do anybody any good. But again, really think outside the box. Think about what you could do to, again, a picture of the office, the shop, your staff. Those are fantastic. Community service project, volunteerism, anything like that. Those are all great posts, great picture opportunities for you as a business. Some people are afraid that that might come across arrogant. I understand, but this is business. If it's not you, it's going to be your competitor. And I tell you what, as long as you're doing things for the right reason, don't let that stuff, hang you up. I always say community involvement is just, it's critical, not only for the community, but for your business as well. We're huge into giving back. So, but again, really, take all opportunities that you can out there to promote and encourage other businesses, other consumers to engage with your page. Last little pro tip, sorry, I did forget one thing. When you're posting, ask questions, do polls. Those are given in, engagement pieces. If you can go on your website there, and I always say this, if you've attended any of my classes, if you're looking for new ideas or you want to know how processes are working internally, what consumers' thoughts are on expanding to something new, whatever the case may be, hit Facebook up. That's a phenomenal place to get opinions. Everybody's willing to share their opinion online. So if you can, engage with your clients that way. Hey, what do you think if I'm a retail shop and I sell, let's say, skateboards? Hey, what do you think about this new skateboard here? It's a blah, 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 blah. And, it's on sale right now for $49.99. Again, you're asking somebody for their opinion. People are more likely to engage when you're trying to have a conversation. Like this is a fact post from us. So again, I'm not asking for engagement here. It's just meant to intrigue. Now, I might put in here, did you know that the global ad spend will be $389 billion? What type of investments, or where are you investing your marketing dollars for your business? That would be an engaging style post, and we do those from time to time. So again, don't be afraid to reach out to your customers. Polls, phenomenal. People love them. Don't be afraid if the first couple you don't get any engagement on. It's okay. People are maybe not used to it from you, or maybe your audience is one that doesn't participate. You'll find out. But keep it going, be consistent, don't be afraid to do it. Eventually people will catch on, they'll provide you feedback, and be genuine about it. If people are going to take time to give you feedback, respond to that. Thank them for their time, so on and so forth. I mean, again, think of this as 360 degrees. You need to give as much as you get, so on and so forth. So, but as always, if you guys have any questions on this stuff, I always say it's not rocket science. Sometimes we just need to help each other get out of our own way. Sometimes we get mental blocks on things. So if you get that, you just need to chat, you have any questions, again, we're an open door. Feel free, stop by the office, give us a call, hit us up on email, Facebook, wherever it is, just send us a message. We'll get back to you. I'm happy to provide free advice. Or if you need help, obviously we're here to help. So.
Awesome. Thank you. You know what? You're always short, sweet, to the point, and always so much great information there. So actually, while you were doing that, I was just thinking of a post I need to do on Facebook. So I'm doing some content out there today. So as you all know, we have changed. These are no longer weekly webinars. So our next one will be 2 weeks from today. And I believe Chris is going to be talking about lead funnels.
Yes. Yep. Lead funnels, I'll tell you, they're phenomenal things. A lot of people overcomplicate them, but they're actually really, 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 really simple, depending on how complex you want to be. How about that?
I guess it sounds a little intimidating, but when you boil it down to the point, for us, it's going to be simple and we're going to move on.
Exactly.
So, well, thank you, Chris, and have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon.
You bet, ma'am. Thank you again for having us. Have a great day.
You too.